monsters. This is Ronaldo. Ronaldo is a big green lizard, and he has a purple hat. He has purple dots on him and spikes down his back. My son actually drew this when he was 11. And your thought monster is just that inner voice that we all have. And actually, we get that voice. This was such a surprise when I learned this. That little inner critical voice that we all have. I don't know one human being who does not have that voice. That sort of is installed in our brain by the time we're about 4. So if you have children, your 4-year-old already has that little inner voice, and you probably have an idea where that voice comes from. I'm gonna put it comes from the people around us. So for little kids, their parents, their teachers, their caretakers, the other children in the family, all of those things that they're hearing sort of becomes this voice inside of us. And a lot of what that voice is doing is, well, first of all, its primary job is to keep us safe. So I call it a thought monster, but in a funny way. They're not meant to be scary, although they can be, because a lot of the things they'll say to us sound kind of mean and kind of nasty and kind of rude sometimes. And that is because they're just trying to help. So they're really afraid of change, any kind of change. And so if you're going to try something new, or if you're going to meet a new person perhaps, or you know, let's say you're nervous about taking tests, you're about to take a test, your thought monster is going to be busy in there saying, oh, you better worry, oh my gosh, you better study harder, oh no, I don't think you're going to do well on this, oh no. And you know, sometimes the thought monster voice is mean, and sometimes it's just sort of scared kind of thing. So everyone's voice is different, everyone's thought monster looks different, sounds different. It's unique to every human being. And I actually like my clients to meet their thought monster. It's a really useful tool, because when you can personify it in some way, or it's not always a person, sometimes it's a thing, but when you can visualize it and see it out there for young children, it actually helps them separate from the voice. Because even though the voice is inside us, it isn't us. It's not the true us. It is this kind of springs from the amygdala, which is a base of our brain, which is the prehistoric part of our brain. And it's all about fear and all about survival. And it's really not meant to hurt us, but if we're not aware of it, if we can't see it, if we don't know that this voice is there doing a particular job, a lot of us can just stay stuck in whatever that voice is saying, whatever we're hearing in our mind. So in my books, in a lot of the offerings that I give you, I teach you about the thought monster. It's a great thing to do with your kids. It's best for about age 9 and older, because that's when most children's brain is ready to understand this distinction, because that's what it is, you know. Now here's a tip. If you have teens or preteens who are going to be like, oh, mom or dad, this is so lame, or teacher, this is so lame, I'm not going to do this activity, it's so dumb. I don't know about you, but my teen was always listening. And as long as they don't have their earphones in, you know, or headphones on, you got to make sure they're not listening to their music clearly. So if they're nearby, they will hear this lesson and they'll incorporate it. And it's a great thing for teens to understand this, because, you know, when children become preteens and teens, their thought monster goes really crazy. There's all kinds of inputs that is going to affect their self-confidence and their beliefs about themselves. And we want to do as much as we can to support them in believing in themselves.